This last section will examine lead preparation and soldering of dip components, or dual inline packages. Dips have two rows of leads that are in line with one another. Sometimes you may receive dips where one or both rows of leads are slightly wider than the mounting holes on the circuit board. If this is the case, the leads will need to be straightened so the component will fit loosely into the mounting holes. The best way to straighten the leads is to use a dip lead straightening tool. The component is placed in the mold and the fixture is squeezed to bring all the leads perpendicular to the body of the device. If you don't have these types of tools, the bent leads can be individually straightened with a wooden stick or a similar non-marring tool. Another method of forming multiple leads at one time is to place the body of the dip onto its side on a firm surface. The dip is then rolled to bend all the leads on one side, perpendicular with the component body. After verifying the dip leads are straight, they should be cleaned using a lint-free cloth and solvent. Now we can insert the component leads into the corresponding holes in the circuit board. The lead should drop into the holes with no effort, nice and easy. Always make sure that pin 1 on the device matches the pin 1 indication on the circuit board. Next, clinch two opposite corner leads to hold the dip in place during soldering. Now, we'll clean this area of the board. Then add liquid flux if needed to the leads and pads. At this point, we're ready to solder the multi-leaded dip. Instead of soldering one lead after another, we'll use a shotgun or zigzag approach so that excessive heat doesn't become concentrated in one area. Notice that the technique for soldering each individual lead is identical to what we've seen for axial and radial components. After we've finished soldering all the connections, we'll clean using a company-approved solvent. Then we'll inspect all the solder joints to make sure that all of the metals are covered or wetted with solder and the outline of the leads remain visible within the solder connections. This video has demonstrated manual preparation and hand soldering for the most common types of axial and radial through-hole components. We took a look at a number of techniques for forming leads, as well as how to properly clinch leads to hold the components in place for soldering. In addition, we examined the technique for hand soldering axial and radial leaded components, and the more advanced shotgun technique used for multi-leaded dips.